Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about Wrestlemania. It's too expensive. This year, Wrestlemania 29 costs $55 to order on pay-per-view. That's a lot of money. You can buy a lot of stuff with $55. I know it's the biggest show of the year, but is it really worth 11 delicious foot-long BLTs from Subway? As a lifelong wrestling fan, I am forced to reply no. It isn't worth 11 delicious foot-long BLTs from Subway. I love CM Punk and all, but I can't eat him. And even if I could, I'm pretty sure he doesn't come with bacon. It's too long. Boy, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that, huh? Standard length for a WrestleMania these days is around 4 hours. That's 1/6 of an entire day. That's 1/10 of an entire 40-hour work week. And if you add to that a 3-hour episode of Monday Night Raw the next night, that's 7 hours of pro wrestling in 2 days. Fucking Vladimir might not be up for that, especially since most of what has happened on WrestleMania the last few years has not been terribly significant. In fact, it's been a chronicle of stagnation. For my money, especially if it's my BLT money, the best way to end a WrestleMania is by having a babyface win his first world championship in the main event. It's a feel-good ending, it sends the fans home happy, and it's a turn-the-page moment. You're making a new main eventer and pointing toward a new and fresh and exciting future soon to come. So naturally, it hasn't happened since 2005. In fact, there hasn't been much elevation of any kind going on at WrestleMania these last few years. It used to be that in the old days, seeing a hot young worker get a long-awaited victory over a veteran rival or winning the Intercontinental title was a reliable highlight of the show. See Steamboat, Ricky. But these days, we're lucky if the Intercontinental Champion even makes it on the card. Story-wise, it's no longer that important. WrestleMania was originally designed as the ultimate blow-off show, where all of the storylines that had been building and building for months culminated in a single night. Scores were settled, quests for revenge or championship gold were realized. Even WrestleMania shows that were underwhelming in terms of match quality, for example WrestleMania 6, are remembered today as classics because of how well they resolved well-booked, memorable storylines. But these days, WrestleMania isn't so much the site where bitter enemies finally face off after months and months of feuding as it is the show that everybody wants to work on because it's WrestleMania. Instead of the show being made special because of the matches it features, the matches are said to be special no matter how slapped together at the last minute they may be because they're on this show. And that's not just bad wrestling booking, that's bad drama. And the badness is amplified by the fact that, let's face it, this is wrestling. And when you're starting at wrestling, you definitely don't want to go down from there. It's become a Superbowl wannabe. I suppose the other things I've been bitching about to this point are explained by this last thing. Because although it was conceived as a wrestling blow-off show with cameo appearances from B-list celebrities, WrestleMania has morphed into a multi-format pop culture event. Or at least that is very much what the WWE would like it to be. The aping of the Super Bowl has become so apparent in recent years that it now even extends to the venues at which WrestleMania takes place. Last year's WrestleMania was at Sun Life Stadium in Miami, which has been the site of 5 Super Bowls, most recently in 2010. This year's WrestleMania takes place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, which is the site of next year's Super Bowl, and next year's WrestleMania is going to take place at the Superdome in New Orleans, which was the site of this year's Super Bowl. And like the Super Bowl, WrestleMania isn't really about the particular participants or matchups. The show itself has become the real draw. And even considering the things I've complained about in this video, I'm okay with that. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm always going to find things to bitch about. It's what I do. Well, that and watch wrestling. But the truth is, most years WrestleMania turns out to be a thoroughly entertaining, satisfying show, especially if it's viewed in the company of friends. So if you happen to watch this before WrestleMania takes place this year and you're thinking of ordering WrestleMania 29 as a fellow wrestling fan, my advice to you is to go for it. Order the show and invite some friends over. Make a party of it. Have a good time. And maybe get a few of them to split the $55 pay-per-view cost with you, because seriously, 11 BLTs ain't no chance in hell. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.